Hi, my super supporters. I hope that you are wonderful. I hope I can do this video for you. I'm having some Mercury in almost retrograde technical difficulties, and my mouth seems to be moving not in synchronicity with my voice. So just forgive me, but I really want you to have this video because tonight I'm going to share with you my secret predictions of the United States election. And I've got a lot of predictions, and I want to show you how they add up astrologically. It's absolutely fascinating. So the first thing that I want to tell you is I predict that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to win this election. And I'll show you why Donald Trump is going to lose. Today is October 8th, 2020, and I am making this prediction in advance of the United States elections that is going to occur on November 3rd. The polls will close at 8 p.m. in Washington, D.C. So that is where I put my transit wheels, okay? So I want to show you astrologically my predictions. I also am going to tell you which states are going to go blue and who is going to lose in the Senate. So come with me. I hope I can do this video for you. Okay, the first thing I want to do is this is Donald Trump's chart right here in the middle. This second wheel right here. Okay, there's three wheels, 1, 2, and 3. This second wheel is his progressed chart, and his progressed chart is who is he today? What is happening today? And when there are big events in the progressed chart, and when you compare them to the transits chart, which is the third wheel, and the natal chart, which is his birth chart, when progressed transits hit some critical key points, big stuff happens. So if you don't know your progressions, you should know your progressions. If you want to understand your progressions and you want to understand your natal chart, go to soulnavigation.com and book a reading with one of my astrologers. They are amazing, and we're offering an introductory rate. So if you're looking at this going, gosh, I'd really like to know more about how do I even read my chart, go book a reading with one of my astrologers just as soon as you can, because they're all on this very special rate. We just opened a week ago. So it's exciting to learn. Let me tell you why he's going to lose. He's going to lose primarily because this Uranus right here, which is his progressed Uranus, is at 21 degrees, and it is sitting right smack dab on his soul. Uranus is the lightning bolt. It's where you are erratic, and where you have instability, and where you are rebellious. So while people liked him as a rebel, they don't like him as this big of a rebel. And it is like radical rebelliousness. You can see that he has his natural nodal axis right here on in the Gemini and Sagittarius, and you would think that that would bode well for him. And if he was a normal human being, it would. If he could rise up and be the very best version of Gemini rather than the low shadow side of Gemini and the low shadow side of bombastic, self-righteous Sagittarius, he could actually, with this moon on election night, so this outer wheel is the election night in Washington, D.C., November 3rd, 2020, when the polls close at 8 p.m. If he could be his best self, he would have a genuine and real shot at winning the presidency, especially because this transit, this high side, you know, the world really wanted something spectacular out of him. And they wanted this so badly. And much of the United States still does. And he just can't seem to find his highest side. So he's enmeshed in, and he's born with Uranus on his sun. But when Uranus is on his sun exact through progression, and he has it natally, it's kind of a disaster. I'm also going to tell you that in the house of popularity and other people, he has Neptune. And so some people do really see him as a demagogue and as a god, if you will. But Neptune, which is the collective, is in square to his sun and this progressed Uranus. And so he becomes unfavorable by the collective. It's also in square, almost exact to his Uranus, but his nodal axis and now his progressed nodal axis and the transiting nodal axis. So when your house of popularity has a square to your soul, your nodal axis, this Uranus, your south node, and your moon, you're not very well liked. Not only that, it's wide, but he has a Virgo moon and a Virgo sun, and it's wide. The moon is squaring his sun. The moon is squaring Uranus. The moon is squaring his moon, and that is his progressed moon squaring his natal moon. His progressed moon is also squaring his nodal axis, and that nodal axis is destiny. He just has so many difficult planets. I can also tell you that this Plutonian, if you guys haven't watched my 2020 playlist, there's like 15 videos in there. Please, dear God, go watch it. So that 22 degrees Pluto, which is the coronavirus degree, which is Pluto is the planet of death. He's got that squaring his Jupiter, his Chiron, and Neptune. It's wide, but it's by sign, but it's not by degree. And he's got it squaring his Venus, his Chiron, and his Mars, right? Through progression, even his Jupiter and his ascendant. So with Pluto squaring his progressed ascendant, he's not liked. He's really not liked. I mean, this looks like, if you just glanced at this, oh, moon on the north node and on his sun, he's going to have a favorable night in the house of Beethoven, and it's wonderful. No, you got to really learn to peel your onion. And I mean, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. He's not going to win. I want to show you why Biden is going to win. The first thing that I want to say is he's got the moon with the north node in his 7th house of popularity. And so he is far more likable. He has Venus transiting the 10th house. That's all you need. The 10th house is that, that rising up. It's the highest point in the chart, and it's where you stand in the community. And he has Venus on Neptune right here. And Neptune is the collective. Venus and Neptune come in as unconditional love. And one of the things I learned is that he has the most diverse base voting for him out of every single American president to have ever existed. It's crazy. And that's kind of a Neptune Venus, like unifying all people. The sun in Scorpio suits his sun in Scorpio better. That's my mama. I can't take her call right now. The sun in Scorpio suits his planets in Scorpio better than the sun in Scorpio with Donald Trump's Gemini. So the sun in Scorpio is on his Mars. That's his life force energy. In what house? The 11th house. Do you know what the 11th house is? Hopes, dreams, and wishes. And it is the house of like-minded souls. It is the house of the collective. He's gonna win. Let's keep going. He's got his, the transiting midheaven is on his moon. So the highest point in the transit chart, if we were just to put up the transit chart alone, sits right there on his moon. And the midheaven is also the community, people, and it has Neptune there. He has Neptune, and the midheaven by transit sitting right smack on his progressed moon. And it's wide. The midheaven touches Venus. He is far more liked. His Saturn by transit is sitting on his Mercury. So he does stumble for his words. And I do think sometimes his mind betrays him. But I feel like it's all here in the 2nd house of loyalty. And he is very, very, very loyal. And they're having a hard time proving that he's not. Uranus on the moon. I worry about that. I don't love that. That's kind of like emotionally shell-shocking. So, I pray that he doesn't have heartbreak. And Uranus opposing his sun. Let's just look at that. Uranus opposing his Mars. So that's going to be like a shock. And I do think the world will be happily shocked when he wins. And I'm nervous making the prediction, right? Because I know so many crazy things can happen and the world is just so twisted right now. This is going to be a huge and enormous fate and destiny. His nodal axis, the 29 degrees Aquarius and the 29 degrees Leo, they go perfectly with the 21 degrees Sag and the 21 degree Gemini. Now, I also want to tell you that Donald Trump is going to steal 4 states. And what I mean by steal is there's going to be serious voter suppression and voter fraud, where the machines change your votes, or people can't get to the ballots, or as we saw in the Kentucky governor race, that the citizens were locked out of the voting booths. And so I do feel he's going to steal Georgia. I do feel he's going to steal Kentucky. I do feel that he's going to steal 4 states. I also think he may steal South Carolina, and I think he's going to try to steal Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, but he won't be successful there. So let me tell you how I think the states are going to go. Michigan and Pennsylvania, Nevada, Minnesota, and Wisconsin are all going to go blue. Now, even though he's going to steal so many of the votes in the Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, I don't think he's going to be able to steal enough to make that state go red. And I think it is going to be so close. I was born in Ohio. Can you believe that? I was born in Ohio. And I don't see it. I don't see it psychically, and I don't see it astrologically that Ohio is going to go blue. But my God, my heart would sing if it did. It just would. It would really sing if it did go blue, but I don't think it will. I will tell you, though, that I'm going to make a really big prediction here, and that is for the very first time, I believe Arizona, and that's where I was raised for 23 years, Arizona, the great red state of conservative Arizona, I believe is going to go blue. I really do. I think it's going to go blue, and it's not going to go blue by much, but it is going to go blue, and maybe by 1%, 2%. And Nevada is going to go blue, and this election is going to be messy. Mercury goes direct that day, and so we're not going to know the official tally. I'm going to tell you that the United States, I don't know what it's like in your country, but the United States has a popular vote. That's where every single vote is tallied. And then there's an electoral college vote. And you have to win states. So your personal vote gets buried. So if you are a blue voter in a red state, and that state has more people voting red, your vote doesn't count. The state, let's say it's Texas, gets something like 40 votes, and all 40 votes go to the majority of the voters of that state. So that's the Electoral College. That's why the American election always boils down to a couple of states. And you're going to see that the normal blue states like Illinois, Washington State, where I live, Massachusetts, New York, California, those will all stay blue. And then you'll see the Dakotas staying red, and Iowa staying red, and Idaho staying red, right? Oklahoma staying red. I'm going to show you a couple of states. And I'm going to do Phoenix, Arizona in the middle ring, and then I'm going to do the election on November 3rd. Look at this. This is a really good day for Arizona. And the sun at 12 degrees Scorpio is in harmony with Phoenix's Pisces soul. So Phoenix, and that's where most people live, in Phoenix and Scottsdale. Phoenix's birthday is February 25th, 1881. I had to do 12 noon because we don't have a time. But look at this nodal axis. The nodal axis for Phoenix is 23 degrees Gemini, south node, and 23 degrees Sagittarius, north node. And they're having a reverse nodal axis return. They are going to reverse course along with the moon. And it's right here in the house of divination, in the house of God, right on the ascendant. And that's Gemini. So I feel like they're going to switch. I also want to say that I think that this is sort of a death of the old ways with Pluto on the moon and Mars. Aries, Mars in the 11th house, that's the warrior fighter fighting for the collective. On Venus and Jupiter, it's like they want higher values and they want to fight for a belief system that represents the 11th house, which is all people. So I really feel that they've got transits that are saying we want change. I want to talk about 2 Senate races. Mark Kelly from Arizona, he lives in Tucson. His wife, Gabby, got shot in the head by a crazy psycho when she was standing on stage giving a speech. I do want to say that Mark Kelly is against Martha McSally. And funny, they're both born in, he's a very early Pisces. And he is a former astronaut. And she is an Aries. And she's a badass Aries. And she took John McCain's seat. And she was appointed the seat. She didn't win it by election. And he's just an amazing soul. I'm not surprised he's a Pisces. But he's a former astronaut, and he is going to win that seat. So Arizona is going to have 2, not 1, senators that are blue, that are Democrats. So that's mind-boggling, like crazy. That has never happened. I can't even I grew up there. I don't remember that ever happening. I'd have to go check my history, but that's just like, wow. If Arizona can go blue, Oklahoma is next. This is going to be really crazy times. And is Donald going to leave the Oval Office? Is he going to walk out and, be gracious about it? He will leave. He's not going to, stay in there. But what's going to happen is he is going to make the people around the world, but especially Americans, you out there in the other countries don't believe it. But it's unfortunate because a lot of Americans watch news that's very toxic and it has a lot of pollution in it. And they've been indoctrinated into this belief system. And maybe some of you are on here. And maybe my super supporters are just going to go bloop after this. But that's okay. I get it. But they really do. I'm just going to tell you, he's going to leave. And the reason why he's going to leave is because the House, the Senate, and the United States presidency are all going to go Democratic this year in 2020. And so when he loses all 3 branches, he can't stay. There's no power to stay. There's no support. There's nobody left that has your back. You don't have an ability to stay. So what he's going to do, I'm so sorry that there's a delay on my voice. I can see it. It looks crazy. But maybe just listen to me. Don't look at me. What he's going to do is he's going to condemn, and he's going to make the American people believe that all these new people that have gotten elected are horrible monsters and terrible human beings and communists and socialists and just really bad people that are going to ruin your lives and tank the economy, right? And so he's going to disenfranchise people more and more and more. And you're going to see that it's really bad around December 7th and around December 24th and even around January 12th. If you didn't watch my video on Don't Lose Hope for 2020, go watch that because I talk about the really hard dates. And I hope you watched my 3 October videos where I go through the month of October because this is a really hard month. Leave me a comment. I want to know your thoughts and I want to know what you think. And I know this was really bold, and let's just see how I did after November 3rd. We won't know right away. It's going to be a mess counting up the ballots, but I think it's going to be a large enough victory that we will know that he won, but then he's going to create just a massive shit show, and he's going to create like mega chaos, and he's going to say that he wants a redo and he wants a new election and this is invalid and he's not going to accept the results and he's going to make it a mess. So he will leave on January 12th, but not before he makes a complete fiasco and a sickening and a maddening attempt at destroying every single person that got in his way. Stay safe. Be good. And if you want to learn about your progressions and your chart, go book a reading with one of my astrologers. And also go to my shop at soulnavigation.com and hit the shop button and look at my gorgeous quartz crystal. You can get one too. Is that not so beautiful? Look at that. Oh, I love it. This is the quartz crystal. This is the love quartz. So this is your love necklace if you need a little boost. All right, take good care. I'll see you soon, and bye for now.